We'll just wait for everybody else to get in.
Yep.
What's up?
Exactly.
What's up? What's good?
Hey. Just browsing the bazaar, you know?
I'm in here on the GMI parcel too. Hanging by the campfire. Very nice.
Oh, nice. We got to get our own campfire going.
That's what I'm saying on the GMI parcel.
Oh, is it on the GMI parcel?
That's where I'm
man.
at, man. Look at me.
Oh. Look at you. Nice. Oh, very cool. Who donated that?
Wait, I didn't. I don't know. Whoever did this upgrading, I'm guessing.
What's broke?
So,
Oh crap.
What happened, Anthony?
No, me. It's nothing to do with y'all.
Oh, perfect.
Nothing broke. No. He was asking who donated the campfire.
Oh yeah, it's out of one of my parcels. It's a loaner for the time being.
oh, loaned campfire.
I'll sell it to GMI 3 Ghosts.
Dang. You think the price goes up for GMI, but that's great.
I've never been good in business. I'm a bleeding heart.
Hey man, we need more of those. That's good. So
Good. Yeah,
we can wait for people to pile in, but I see you put together some notes for tonight. So
Yeah.
I guess that's what's what we're running through here. So pretty cool.
Y'all are streaming.
Send me another
I'm not streaming. No Future, are you streaming?
Yeah, I'll be streaming. I'm setting up the look now because I'm still channeling.
No worries.
No rush at all. Besides Hefe, it sounds like you got a hard line, huh?
I'm streaming as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I got a hard stop in about an hour. But, don't let me stop that conversation. I'll just try and catch up with the rest of the recording if I miss something.
Sure. Any success with the minting?
No, man. I think it's just, honestly, I gotta basically just reinstall Hard Hat and just put a new project in there.
Did
Copy
that?
paste
Yeah.
everything.
You hadn't gone through the troubleshooting as it was.
No, when we were talking, I was troubleshooting it, and then I was like, "Oh, this is what I got to do." I was talking to Shaw in the Aavegotchi Architects, and he was like, "Yo, you just gotta basically take that whole project and then start a new hard hat file, and then put everything over, like transfer all the files over into there." So I'm like, "Okay, that might take a little while, but like, okay, I know what I have to do." So work on getting those out.
It makes sense in terms of the solution. It's basically like a hard kill, huh? Just start from scratch cleanly.
It's not worth the time to re-engineer like everything to actually make it work. You just like reinstall Hard Hat, new instance, get all the scripts just copied over, and then just start over again.
Okay.
But yeah, we got a solution for that. It's not like I'm like stuck on it anymore. Just gotta like get it done basically, and then I know the process afterwards, so that should be okay. I'll work on getting the Summit NFT done with, and then shortly after that get the Gotchikas done, and we wrapped up the Raffle submission today, right? I mean, I forgot we should have announced it. We didn't announce it. That's okay.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it on. It went out through the Twitter account.
Cool. Okay. So we did announce it. And then, so that's officially wrapped up. And I'll work on getting that distribution over, early next week, probably. Just get all those done. And then we'll be done with our NFTs.
Should I start the live stream?
I'd say so.
Or should we wait a few more minutes?
I mean, I've already started, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good to go.
We are live.
Hey, friends, this is Hefe. Got my Callum here, Anthony, Manor, my Callum, and a whole bunch of other Gotchi gang joining us this evening for our official GMI Friday night Syncopator here in the GMI server. So if you are catching us live right now on No Futuristics channel, Music City Gotchi Gang,
What's on
or
GMI? On GMI.
on GMI, sorry, on GMI or through Zombie Shepherd's channel, you could either join us here live or follow along with them. And we got Mike Helm and myself. We're going to be going through the agenda tonight for what we're talking about, and we might be doing some discussion / debate around our mascot Gotchi for GMI and what that could look like. So yeah, it's going to be a good show. And so I guess I'll start off with just asking you guys how y'all doing.
I'm doing good.
I'm doing
I'll
all
jump
right,
right in.
man.
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I just wrapped up listening to you guys on 420. That ran long for that episode, so that almost ran right up into the call here.
Oh,
Lose
yeah,
track
man.
of
That was a
time,
good-
man.
You're good.
Everybody
good
caught up on their channeling. Everybody all done, or are we?
No.
I've got some to hit in 15 minutes, and I'm saving some for spillover tomorrow.
You using Gotchi Buddy?
Got you, buddy?
Anybody using Gotchi Buddy?
The
What is
timer, the
this?
Gotchi timer.
Oh,
So Gotchi Buddy is fantastic, right? Like
Come
so.
on.
It's a video that we posted from the Lens Friends or GMIFriends.lens on LensTube is the review on Gotchi Buddy, but Gotchi Buddy is like that's terrible. It doesn't show up. But this is a functioning mobile phone app that like keeps up with all of your most important Gotchi related stuff, right? So all your pettings.
Whoa.
It's Gotchi channeling, land channeling, reservoir emptying, installation upgrades, and Gotchi petting. So you put your wallet address in there, and then it just lets you know. And they're working on push notifications right now, so we'll be seeing those pretty soon. And I'll be getting pings as soon as something's full, or a Gotchi's ready, or a land is ready. I think everyone's gonna love it.
Tight.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Jared?
tight. No, man, I've
Jared,
got a freaking
Wagon
timer
Wars.
set. I gotta.
That's funny. Yeah, so there you go. So there's that. So I'm gonna burn through these like fire real quick because Hefe's on a limited timeline. So again, we can kind of, if anyone has anything specific on any of this stuff, just raise your hand, jump out, just interrupt me and stop me, because otherwise I'm just gonna kind of waterfall right through the whole thing. So kind of touched on the Friends of the Family collection again in review. That's a Rigo and Bin Laden collaboration piece there. 3 from Bin Laden, 6 from Rigo. We've done the close off already on Bin Laden's piece. That was a while back, last Friday, I think, actually. And then Rigo just closed today at the beginning of the 420 episode that just went down. So no more submissions on either one of those. We've got what we've got. I've got some numbers. Let's see here. I think that's still showing. If that's displayed. Can you guys see the notepad?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, good. So common raffles, 5 of those sold. Uncommon, 6 of those sold. Rare, 6 of those sold. 233, actually it ended up being like 200, maybe 54, I think, actually, all said and done. Drop tickets got entered against the legendaries, the mythicals, and the godlikes. So there's 30 of those, 15 of the mythical, 30 of the legendaries, 15 of the mythicals, and 5 of the godlikes. So those still need to be drawn against. That's something that needs to happen at some point in time. We could potentially do it tonight. I've got the wheels ready. I've got all the data set. We can definitely pull raffles for Raffles, and we can definitely do stuff for the GMI Summit attendees raffle that we still have prizes to draw for. That's kind of I've on here a couple times, so there you go. That's all that stuff. We can do that soon. Otherwise, we're really kind of just in Hefe's mercy here on the minting of it, just working out some Windows to Mac conversion issues for freaking contract deployment. So no concerns, just a little bit of gruel work. So he's almost breaking through there.
That's literally me. I'm literally learning how to use a Mac, so that's literally what it is. And
It's
so
supposed
once,
to be easy.
well, I guess once you get over the hump, there's a bit of a transition thing. But, yeah.
The dang commands ain't even really natively the same, man. You got to relearn everything. It's like a different keyboard practically. It's fundamental. You know, none of your skills directly translate besides typing. Guild Summit, this is again touching on the raffle prizes. So these are the 4 that need to be distributed. Musashi, I see you here tonight. So right on. Send me a DM or drop it in chat or something. Let's get your public address and we can get you sent your prize. You were one of the winners in the raffle that we did draw at the summit. You get one of the 30 Adept coins. And so I need addresses for Shah, Senor, and Lucerne. So I just need to like DM them and reach out to get their addresses. But if there's birds in the network that run into any of these guys, let them know that we're hunting for their addresses so we can get them their prizes. Then we need to draw for the remaining prizes as well. Last time we talked, we were really thinking that the sponsorship with Parcel deal was probably dead in the water, and that didn't look like that was going to move forward just based on some fundamental expectations that didn't seem to line up. But Hefe saved the deal, quite honestly. He did some discussion with them and kind of cleared some things up. There was some really fundamental misunderstanding on their part, which is kind of cool on our side of it, but they were really estimating our symbiosis with Pixelcraft at a decision-making level and thought that they were very much making deals with Aavegotchi proper. And I had made a tweet on my personal Twitter about using the Utopia platform for looking at payment solutions. And they took that as meaning that now Pixelcraft's working with Utopia, and so I guess Parcel's been shunned, and that's that, and so it's not going to happen. But none of that's correct. So we've done some talking. So it sounds like we're going to be okay with that sponsorship, so that money still stays put in the treasury for now. So a couple of things that we need to deliver through with them is Gotcha Brothers need to do a podcast sit down with their founder, just do a little what's the deal with these guys, and then Hefe's Crypto Portals also stepped up to do a show with them. We got to do an Aavegotchi community AMA at some point in time in the future with them. It'll be like a little, not a guild summit at all, but it's going to be guild focused. We want leaderships of the guilds, people with multi-sigs, people that are managing organizational level type entities that need possible improvements in their efficiencies, basically working with Gnosis. And so that'll be something that we try to do. No future, we can definitely do an allocation for talking about the daily streams. Humble, I see you in here as well, so I know that's kind of the first in line for that pair up. So if that's still got traction or steam in it, then let's make that happen so that way that can start getting on the clock and the timer, and then we can fit Parcel in behind it. Or if we can do overlap or whatever the creative solution is there, I have no clue. But there is a request on Parcel to start getting some of that streaming coverage as well. And there's funding for that to occur. So thoughts on that. Bin Laden and Face, the Rasta Party NFT. So I think maybe not everyone in here has seen it. Maybe someone can drop it in the chat if someone's got it laying around. But for some of us who've seen it, it's pretty sick. We talked about the Guild Summit and released it. There's been so much going on, and there's so many NFTs flying around and so much with Goops related that there's been a lot of just noise now inside of the community NFT scene. And so I feel like this one's totally fallen off the table and no one's really talking about it or pushing on it. And there's no real plan on it. So maybe we can do August talking about this one specific NFT and really doing a better push around this thing and keeping it for questions and minting by the end of August, possibly. Maybe we could talk to Jesse and see what the deal is and get some possible alpha on guild channeling proper. And maybe there's a long runway we can offer to be like, hey, this will be open for 2 months because we'll close it and mint it when guild channeling goes live. That's a possible thing that we could do. 1,000 ghosts from the DTF's already on its way. We got the proposal submitted. We haven't heard anything negative or positive. No news is good news is kind of the idea here. It usually seems to go well. DJ Super Paul has a crazy drop that he's working on. That's all I'll say specifically about the assets. Some of us may have seen some teases here and there, but it looks really, really cool. So we're really looking forward to supporting this effort. Some of y'all may know that he kind of got here recently. Sounds like an OTC that went south. And so he's trying to pick himself up by his bootstraps here and then kind of recoup his losses through work. And so we're looking forward to at least being able to support his own solution to his own problem. So good on him. Artist Summit, August 6th, I think, was the date that we're talking about. Hefe and Zombie I'm kind of looking at for this one, a lot like the Guild Summit for major plannings. Just in terms of planning avenues and channels, our DM's fine and we don't need to do anything. Do we need to deploy any specific channels just for the Artist Summit? Do we need to turn the Guild Summit Discord channels into Artist Summits or just generic Summit channels? Things like that, questions. And again, yeah, if anyone has direct responses or direct thoughts or anything, interrupt me by all means. Otherwise, I'll just push through and then we can decide what we want.
I mean, did you want to stop and talk about the the streaming, the sponsorships for No Future?
Sure. Yeah, go for it. What do you got in the future? What do you got?
Well, so I mean, help me understand. You got some more funding coming in, so you have more sponsors kind of lined up. Is it just Parcel? Is it
just
other?
Parcel? Yeah, right now it's just Parcel. Mm-hmm.
And
So what are they thinking?
They just want to be involved with the entire GMI marketing package, and so they see that channeling as a opportunity. That daily streaming is an opportunity for their branding and for their logos and for their marketing materials.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to point out, I reached out to the lead dev of Looper Dev, trying to work out a sponsorship thing. They don't really make money, but I told him I would throw his logo up because I really do support that product as a free product for Gotchi Gang to kind of take that next step into playing around with the dev stuff. So, that's not really going to affect anything. I'm going to drop it in here and there, but I'm open to whatever. We can,
you have total creative license here too, how you kind of deliver the assets in the package, because you might be able to rotate 2 or 3 folks within a stream, and that's just kind of like you're rotating basket of assets throughout the week for the same channeling consistently.
Yeah.
You may commit to saying no, it's like one channeling is going to be totally fully just one guy. I don't know. So you got solutions, you got choices, you got things like that, but there's at least 2 players in the game that want to see how that matures. And so kind of just really on your call on that. However you think you want to do that and when you want to start doing that and things like that. I know that Humble's ready to rock and roll, and then I know that Parcel's got money on the table as well.
So for the Shigachi Bulls, it's kind of evolved a little bit because of Gotchi Jam, and so
yeah,
I think it would really be more of promoting Gotchi Jam, and so I'm still trying to figure out, a logo, kind of how that structure is going to work. I was thinking about doing like a NBA Jam kind of type logo with a Gotchi in the middle, but I'm still trying to figure it out. And then there's, we got to get set up a licensing agreement and kind of do all this back end stuff. And so, but so I'm Parcel can go ahead. I'm not trying to stop anybody from doing anything.
So it's really your call there, actually, how you'd like to do it, because I think that you're in a position enough with that project to be able to at least still kind of marketing for it. I don't think that the licensing is ahead of the marketing. And so if you want to promote on it, I think let's keep you in the rotation right now too. If you personally want to say, hang on, give me a timeout, let me get more of this evolved and mature, and then I'll hit hard, that's fine too. I'd give you the call on that.
It also allows us the time to refine the process so that when you do get here, it's at top notch. So we're not like messing around and figuring things out.
You kind of practice.
Yeah. Yeah. But so, I mean, if anybody here would be interested in helping out with kind of the Shigachi Bulls, Gotchi Jam, I mean, there's a lot that I want to do that it's going to be hard to execute just from a time standpoint. And it would be nice to have somebody else to bounce ideas off of. Ryder's making the game. He's the developer, so he's working on the game, and I'm trying to think of ways to monetize the game. A lot of creative, kind of strategic ideas that if anybody wanted to be in on, that'll be certainly welcome.
Where do you think is the best place to have those? Just getting the Shigachi Bulls and getting the Gotchi Jam channels that are in there?
No, I mean, it would be more of like somebody who would want to maybe help contribute to the project, basically. But a lot that I'm trying to figure out that, but right now we're just kind of strategizing for how we're going to do that. I think we're going to do, seasons of Gotchi Jam. And I'm hoping to have, it'll start off as 2-on-2. And so I'm hoping to have people have a pre-registration form where people are registering for the season, or if it's a short event or something. And so it's, they identify themselves, who their teammates are, their team name, right? You get to keep a team name or something like that. And then if there are any guilds being represented. But the idea would be that it grows to be a thing where there are a whole bunch of teams representing different, parts of the economy, basically.
I'm
that are
personally
coming to compete.
super stoked, man. Make it happen. Make it happen.
I
Make it
hear
happen.
I hear you talking about more players, right? And like, would you be open to making this event? Oh, open it up. Maybe not the first round or the second. Once your testing is done and it's been in. All the bugs have been worked out, and you can actually test this. Push the game to its limits. We could even make this like an event among like YGG, and have the scholars from YGG all come together and compete for an Alchemica pool. And I bet you I could get YGG to throw up some cool stuff for that.
I wanted to ask you if two people are playing, say 2-on-2, is there a way for spectators to watch the game, or only the participants can watch it? Because if we can have a way to watch it outside of it, we can turn that into a whole fucking ESPN thing where we get a couple commentators talking shit while people are playing, and just make it into a full like.
So would we be able to at least do that, like just with a very primitive screen share relay type mechanism?
I mean, this is all writer, but I would.
Yeah.
The idea is definitely to do something like that where there's, it'd be like you're going to, you go to the park and there's a game there, and then maybe you get picked up, somebody picks you up and you go in and play for them or something like that.
You could be a standing lobby, just requests, and like you're saying, the tournament seasons, all of it. Like, just know that we're excited, man. It's a winner for sure. Like, super stoked, and writers got the chops.
If we did it in a voice channel like we're doing here, like this voice call, we could very easily have, like, say I'm playing against Hefe, one of us shows our screen and we get the idea of the game. And then we could do sort of what like Ceza was doing with the Guild Wars, with the Fall Guys, where he would broadcast. He had that like Twitch guy broadcast, and I would like co-host with him, and we would just talk while like people played Fall Guys to see who would win the guild battle,
Yeah. Super into it. So you just let us know however we can help in any way. Like if you need like labor help, you need asset help, you need creative bounce around help, just drop it in the GMI chat. And if anyone here that's listening is interested, probably just shoot him a DM and you guys can go from there. And we'll figure out. Right on, man. Super.
So Macallium, I have two things. So in terms of Parcel, when would they want to start?
What do you think, Hefe? I'd say immediately, right? I dropped a tweet from the account today, and I opened a parcel.money with our Gnosis. So I'm like integrating as of now, and assume that, I don't know. It's really, I'm kind of letting Hefe run the attitude on this one.
Okay, so me and Hefe will have to talk more, because the one thing is I am going to New York next Wednesday. I'll be there for a week. I'm bringing streaming equipment, but like ideally, you've seen my house. Like for me to do like. I'm going to do that, yeah. But I'm trying to like limit the amount of equipment I'm bringing. So I'm going to bring like one playback machine, camera, and my my fucking multi-channel switcher for video. To play back, like in an ideal world, Parcel can provide me videos, graphics, all that shit. I can load it up on a playback machine and just play it as we go, where we can hear sound, or we have it played back over, picture in picture, it goes full screen, whatever. If I'm in New York and they want shit like that, I have to bring additional equipment. So I just kind of have to know, because I can plan for that if they get me the assets, but then I just got to plan out my luggage like within the next 2 or 3 days.
I think that we're going to have the kind of the dictation on the pacing. I don't think that there's going to be anything that's critical, and this is kind of feels like, quite honestly, a little bit like a second workout of the deal arrangement. And I think Hefe set pretty clear terms in the fact that we're defining the extent of what is being given, with most of the execution already occurring on the 16th with the Guild Summit proper, and then that was almost funds from services already rendered. And so there's not a lot of obligation outward. And so I'd say if you can, your trip's your trip, and I wouldn't go out of your way or make any burden upon yourself to specifically try to make sure you catch this falling, this token situation here. I'd say you just do it when you're local.
Yeah, I just also, I talk about opportunity costs all the time and money and whatnot. So like if I could do it and there's money on the table now, I would do it. So I would like to ask,
the money's already on our table. That's the good news. They stepped up and they already delivered the funds, and so we've already got the funds. And so that all we need to do is just deliver in a successful enough way to where it feels like it's been a well worked out deal, and then we're done. And so
I will say,
go ahead.
I will say the two other aspects that are part of this promotion are, I'm doing a podcast episode, and then you're also Gotchi Brothers is doing a podcast episode, and those will be essentially evergreen episodes. We'll, host them up and have them available, and we'll also promote those episodes. So through promoting the episodes, we're also providing people access to, all that information, and then we can also follow up with a little AMA in our Discord for those guilds that are actually seriously interested in integrating with them.
I wonder if that wouldn't be something we could tether off the back of a Saturday or something, but that's
Yeah.
an offline.
Yeah.
That's an offline discussion. But I think that'd be probably pretty decent, and we have a pretty good full house at the tether end of that. So
yeah,
something
and if
like
they
that.
want to do a screen share at that time, I can do a live stream of it. We can.
We will sure try. If they want to hold the speakerphone up to a second phone and play it through a trombone, we can try that.
I'm still gonna do my part. I'll still play a game. I'm in.
What terms did they bring up for these streams? Like how many streams they want, how long this wants to run, like how much they're, per stream they're paying, whatever?
It's kind of neat. So they delivered in lump sum. So they just delivered 2K to our treasury. It's what they've already done, and it's already in our possession. And so our job now is to figure out where that gets chopped up. And so like Hefe's saying, it's our podcasts. We're looking at getting you in the mix here on the streaming and then putting this AMA together. And so there's really not tons of overhead. So I actually see it in my mind as like being able to almost pay you at the rates that we were describing with Humbled, at the retail rates, not at the internal rates. And so I think it can bill at those rates easily, if not some kind of adjustment for some kind of specific like effort. I don't know, if you've got something where you're like, here, hold on, watch, I'll do it like this, and this shit's gonna be really top notch, then we can maybe discuss a different rate. But it's well within the confines of what those terms are already at. So I think like I'm almost acting as their agent brokering with you at this point. So I think it's like 2 weeks, no problem. Let's figure out how to get 2 weeks out of good streaming material out of it. So like 14 days worth or 10 days worth, however you want to define the week. So if we get 10 good days of daily streaming coverage with Parcel plastered all over it, I think we're already in really good shape. And we'll just see how
That'll be easy.
Perfect.
Do they have any like requests in terms of like, because I smoke weed on my streams? Is that gonna be
I think that, like, based on your discussion from the last time we had, I think we're going to offer it as not a kind of non-negotiable non-issue. It's just going to be what it is. And so that's going to just be the guy that you bought. And so if you didn't know that maybe you should have done a little more of your own research.
Okay.
So, hey, if they hire a stripper and the stripper takes his pants off, they can't be all upset.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
So,
what we'll have to do is make sure that once we do start this kind of like sponsorship, that we create material so I can cross-sponsor. I can sponsor your podcast with them, Hefe's, and then the eventual Aavegotchi AMA. So it's more than just mentioning Parcel, but we're also mentioning the other things we're going to do for them constantly on a daily basis.
Definitely. It's kind of neat for us because it's like the first time we're trying to put together like a paid marketing campaign. It's not just a single piece. It's not just a video. It's a comprehensive effort across the spectrum.
But if you get me a poster with the information, I can just display it, read it, and do that like 3 or 4 times every stream. If they have any videos or logos they want me to throw up, we can do that. All that shit can be implemented by tomorrow.
You hear all this, Hefe?
We have that banner that we used at the summit. I can throw that in the DMs.
Perfect. Anyone that's got a Parcel asset, shoot that over there. I've got a screenshot of the GMI safe with the Parcel platform. I'll shoot to you. We'll get you assets. And so, Hefe, if you would actually talk to Napur as well.
Also, any links to their pages and information, because to be honest, I didn't really watch their part of the Guild Summit, so I don't know what the hell they do. So I should probably know.
Actually, I'm on the wrong page here, so I'm not going to.
ZombieShepherd, I think you have all the links I sent you the other day just to post up in some of the descriptions. That should be like everything you need to know. So we could probably get those links over. And then
I got.
I'll pull it over that. I'll rip some screenshots of it as a functioning user. Perfect, good. But it's a DAO management tool, and so it's really, really good at making Gnosis really easy to use. And it does do a good job at that. And I did like their screen share they did with Anthony, myself, and Jesse. They are working on these next level type developments for the product platform. They're currently figuring out how to make everything be Polygon native. They're going to sponsor gas for Bankless DAO they're working with. They're working with ENS DAO, and they're working with Developer DAO, which are 3 really prestigious communities, and so they sniffed Aavegotchi out as their fourth lead for, hey, you guys got like a really robust DAO and do a lot of like volume through the community, don't you? This would be perfect for you guys. So it's payment systems, it's channel management, it's accounting and bookkeeping. So it's not like it ain't no mini game, it ain't no gotcha jam, but by all means, it's good tooling. It's good tooling, and so we'll get you caught up with what they are specifically and get you some assets.
I'll make it sexy. Don't worry.
All the links and the banner is in that group DM we got going. So
yeah, I'm just gonna I'll get a really tight parcel tank top and just like flex all the time in it whenever.
That's gonna be perfect. You can't buy marketing like that, I promise.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. So that was kind of a tier part. There you go. Touches on a couple key points. Good.
I actually had a second question, but not related to parcel.
Okay.
You mentioned the DTF ghost, right? So is that the ghost that we were allocating towards this Gotchi purchase, or is that a separate part of our treasury?
It's kind of getting overlapped here. The more comfortable that Hefe it feels with Parcel, which I don't know if we got our second back conversation today based on yesterday's discussion that Hefe and I had. And so we're basically feeling really good about it at 2K, but we're also like putting it together in a separate pile and letting it sit there and just kind of stare at us for just a second until he hears a couple key pieces back from them. And so this 1,000 goes from DTF. This is a no strings attached. This is clean money. There's nothing wrong with this. And so this right here definitely covers the Gotchi purchase. And I think that this is what we like already promised to the Gotchi purchase and move forward with that. So that way there's no concerns, issues, or hangups.
Okay, yeah, no, because I was wondering, because we will get into the debate of like the type of Gotchi we want in a second. But I was like, and we have another 1,000 ghosts, so we could go degen and like sensible yield route without really breaking the bank. But
and that's what I'm saying. As long as we get this yes from Hefe where everything's feeling really good and we're all on the same page with Parcel, then we literally have made about it's like 3,333 off of the summit. We'll have just about $3,300.
Nice.
Yeah. So
these are my thoughts are just let's do the podcast. Let's do the let's do a couple things, and then once we feel like all right, they're liking the stuff, let's go and we don't have to wait till the very end. I just want them to feel like we're delivering on stuff, because we didn't. I mean, what happened at the summit is not our fault, but there was no really exchange of value there. So let's just make sure that we do a little promotion, do some podcast episodes, and then we can have at it. We don't need to hold out to the very end. But I'm just saying.
I'm approaching it almost as an opportunity, right? This is a good professional opportunity for us to flex and show what we can do here. If we're cohesively aligned on one specific messaging, how well can we push? We've been getting a lot of good practice on all these NFT drops, and this one's like a real money on the table. So let's see how we can pull it off. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that too. So I think we're good to go on it all. And so I think we've pulled off a clean 3 from the Guild Summit till now, which is well done, gentlemen. Like it's working. Okay, Artist Summit. DJ Paul, we talked about a little bit. He's got a drop coming. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be good. We're gonna push on it. Y'all gonna love it. Artist Summit's coming August 6th. Is I think the number. Hefe, Zombie, you guys got any cries for attention? Anything that you guys need? Anything that we can help with?
We have not confirmed with any artists.
Okay, so we're still at stage 1. Right on. Okay, we do know it's called the Artist Summit. That's all right. So the good news is that's only a week away, and so in crypto, that's like no problem, right? So I'm not worried.
ZombieShepherd himself, and he's one of the artists that he could have.
we have one artist
right here on the call already. Yeah,
I actually make some art too, so I could figure something out. We have 2 artists at the summit.
There you go.
But is there a reason why we're having a hard kind of launch date for the 6th?
No.
Or can it be pushed out a week?
It can totally be pushed out. Yeah, it can be pushed out.
What I would really like to do is like reach out to people and make sure that they're going to be there, because the artist community is going to be, I mean, at least as far as the artists themselves, it's going to be a much smaller panel. So I don't want to do it at a time that like Roxiano and Rigo and Ben Lagan aren't going to show up.
Let's also do a better job this time of doing like async material presentation as well. So if like 80% of them are good to go and 20% of them can't, we either like them, then let's give them to provide us either a pre-record or a
I
read
like
off.
that. Yeah. If
Yeah,
you could
100%.
give us like a 5-minute video that we can run, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Ben Lagan. Here's what I'm into. Here's what I got going on. Here's what I'm about. Thanks. Boom, done.
Right.
We can hit play on that, and that'll be his spot at the table. So that way we can at least maintain the most convenient spot for most people.
Like it.
Okay, so we'll buy it off to the 13th at least for now. We can keep pushing it. There's no one that's bought on it. It's not hard set. We can. It's at y'all's comfort. Quite honestly, if we ain't got the bandwidth, then we ain't got the bandwidth. There ain't no reason in trying to force it. Okay, so again, on the planning platform too, if you guys want to keep handling it just yourselves through DMs or whatever, it's fine. If you want to change Guild Summit channels into Artist Summit, we can do that. If you want new channels, we can do that. I feel like GMI channels get a little clunky on channels. I don't want to feel like Bankless at the end of the day in there. It's a little bit much. And so I'd love to see kind of a channel reduction.
We can reuse the Summit channels.
I'd love to do that. I don't mind a fast evolving server where that might look different next week from the time you saw it this week. I'm okay with that. Two things on the Notion that we need to do. If I don't have it, I'm on it. I can't go back to the main page here, but we got two good landing spots on the front page of the Notion that we're not utilizing, or that we're going to need to utilize soon. So we've got one for June on our artist spotlight, which is Roxiano, and then July was Rigo, and so we're going to need an August artist spotlight, feature artist here for August. So think of someone, if you think that someone that we haven't covered yet out of those two, Roxiano or Rigo. Who's next? And then we could throw somebody up.
Is there? I was gonna say, is there room there for the Crypto Portal podcast episodes, replacing possibly Gotchi Space, or do you want to keep Gotchi Space on there and upload whatever versions of Gotchi Space we're putting up now? And then, is there a room additionally to add the new podcast?
I would think that is a question that's mostly on New Future about what is the future of Gotchi Spaces. Is this going to maintain programming and continuity and consistency? Because if so, then I want it to keep its spots, and we'll just deploy new spots for Hefe's Crypto Portal.
Well, to be honest, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to mention that my podcast doesn't have any fixed date. So, it allows me some flexibility when I'm arranging, dates with hosts that are hosts, or hosts that are ghosts. and so yeah, it'll be good for me to have that flexibility. So there's no I'm not going to be stepping on any other show's toes. I'll be doing my own thing, and just get those uploads up after, basically.
Well, just so you guys know too, something that Hefe and I talked about the other night is I think I've got him talked into trying to launch Hefe's Crypto Portal underneath GMI branding overall umbrella still. And so this is like one of our first good proper legs outside of the Aavegotchi ecosystem portal completely, and trying to learn what it might look like to be an organization that does what we do completely, but just maybe not always Aavegotchi all the time. And I know that sounds semi-sacrilegious, but it's a big wide world out there. And if we can infiltrate other communities, and we can maybe pick up a couple tricks along the way, but mostly we're going to be able to show a lot of people what we're doing over here too. So we'll see how that works. I think it's going to work really well. I'm a big advocate for it.
Yeah. I think my idea behind that is right now I'm going to go out and do my own thing, get these guests on, start building relationships. And then once we see opportunities as GMI, to make it even better, then it's like, okay, let's bring it under GMI now, make it even bigger than what I'm doing. I'm just going to be going out and scouting out people that are going to fit into our ecosystem and are just doing cool shit. So, we're lucky to have these connections with Pixelcraft, because that's going to allow a lot of doors for those things to happen. But then it's like, when we want to take that to the next level, maybe we want to get more hosts on, maybe we want to do an offshoot of a show, it's covering a specific aspect. That's where I see GMI coming in saying, hey, this is GMI now. This is not just Hefe's Crypto Portal. This is like the GMI Crypto Portal. So I see it being a transition at a certain stage. But I think, starting out, it's going to be kind of me doing my thing and, just meeting guests in this general kind of broader crypto space.
Looking dope. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Okay, and then from here down, most of this is kind of old business, but there's a couple of new pieces, so I'll just kind of blaze through it here real quick. DTF video bounties, GMI video production process, still same as with last week. It's a good idea. We just haven't really made no progress on it, and that's because everyone's busy as hell. Once Hefe's got his Mac under control, then we'll start kind of unclogging some of these pipes Existential polls, these are still up. We're going to have to just craft them and introduce them is the only thing we're really waiting on here. There's no real hold back. And so like maybe Gotchi discussion tonight, Gotchi acquisition discussion tonight, that's kind of like a big topic, but same as the other ones too, right? The legal structure, hybrid versus LLC, DAO structure, stuff like that. Paid partnerships, do we like them, do we don't? Who do we work with? Things like that. Sounds like we're evolving on that one. Core documents talked about last time, constitution, mission statement, pitch deck, a couple things that we need to crank out for that. And then glitter farming, we did get some discussion cranked around this one, and it sure looks overwhelmingly that we'll be taking the GMI Treasury investment portion for liquidity farming and taking it into the Glitter Ghost LP. And so we already have the Ghost side of that, so we'll be swapping some alpha for Glitter and then going into the Glitter Ghost farm. And this, I expect this to be kind of an infinite LP. So if the catastrophic happens, then we can pull it for risk's sake or whatnot. But even with a little bit of impermanent loss, I think it'll just stay in here forever. That's kind of my thoughts and hopes for it. We'll see if it's able to sustain. But everybody and anybody besides, I think, one other person wanted to go with the Glitter Ghost. So I recognize your DGen hearts, my fellow warriors. Cool. GMI states, we got 3 reasonable parcels. We did do the surveys on them last time, hit good on the alpha on 1. The other 2 are kind of average, right, kind of in that middle zone there. Build strategy, we've gotten to level 4 altars, level 4 alpha, reservoir, and harvester, but that's it right now, just a single set. And so there's lots of room to grow there. I know New Future's kind of getting itchy about wanting to help pimp this shit out and help expand it. So that's the long-term goal there. And so we'll let him have it, but he's got to put at least 10 gotchis up as collateral. So I'm sure. We got to distribute maybe 2 other pieces. So there's 3 in total, right? And so right now I've got the one that I'm managing on. I'm managing all 3 of them right now, but I'm thinking about putting one in Zombie's hands and one in Hefe's hands. And that way most of us have access, because the Future's got the parcel directly behind the estate, so he doesn't need a hot ticket into D12. But I think for these 2 guys, they specifically don't have an easy, quick way into D12. And these, y'all make videos often enough and take screenshots well enough that it might be relevant for you to have a hot trip. So just a thought in my head, something we can think about doing. And we'll deploy the Glitter Ghost farm. That LP, that vote looked overwhelming, so we'll go there. Hardcore is got one hell of a task on his hands right now with the district DAO planning. It's in the earliest of stages. It's got nothing to do with GMI. We don't have to do nothing about it at all, but it's something that's going to be really interesting to watch and participate in. And just be sure that you're aware of it in terms of being Gotcha Gang, and just aware that this is like going to probably be one of the most interesting, like in terms of the governance side and the social side of the Gotcha verse, is going to be one of the most interesting designs and deployments that happen. And the way that they set the tone for this is going to have a lot of impact. The discussions that they're having right now are so far into the game that it's hard to keep up in a lot of ways sometimes, because it's just really planning for the future, and that's a cool part to do. So don't be unaware of that fact that that's happening. And then for me, last but not least, I don't know if actually it's right here. Boom. So we got Big Brain Gotcha here set up as a meme template, and so this link is sitting here, and I'll drop it in the chat as well. And so Hefe, likewise as myself, have fallen in love with this big bastard, and so we just want to use him more. I think he's really memeable and really good content and really good, just a good character in general. And so he is definitely going to be our unofficial GMI mascot in our worst of ways and our best of days.
Oh yeah, I love it.
He just has that degen, slightly autistic, but I know exactly what's going on kind of look on his face,
Hefe sees his friend.
I connect with that guy. I mean, this is our meme. This is the Aavegotchi Pepe. This is going to be everywhere.
I don't think he's in here, but bless Backside. Backside's psychotic mind somehow came up with those proportions. That's it for Note Burns.
You prompted him. It was something about make it 10% bigger, and he was like this.
I died.
I was telling Hefe, it's literally just more so than the Gotchi. It represents to me the psychosis that I now know lives inside of Backside. And
Oh
so
my
I like
god!
every time I
No,
stare
it
at
was
it,
like those.
I remember that there's a crazy person in the Gotchi gang, and
It's
I know
those
that we're not alone.
Photoshop memes where they're like, "Oh, can you like remove the, can you put me on the beach?" And then like, they turn the sand into this person's face and like, just trolling people with Photoshop. He got you.
Absolutely.
It was like
You
10%
nailed it.
larger.
Yeah. Exactly. Love it. That's it for hard notes there. I think we kind of addressed most of what was in there. Like I said, not tons of action items, just kind of catch ups and stuff. So action items that we do have, mostly it's a lot of like us stuff. And so Guild Summit NFTs need to get minted, distributed. Guild Summit raffle winners need to get selected and distributed. The family needs to get distributed. Yeah, we need to craft these existential polls and introduce these to GMI members so we get some sense of future direction design. DTF video packages, we're working on that after all this stuff's done. It's a low priority, but it's available, honey on the table. Artist Summit's the next big design event. Glitter Farm deployment's all we need there. We got a design, we know what we're doing, so I'll make those Gnosis transactions an issue, and we'll get set there. August Artists, Guild Spotlights, we got to figure out some artists. Oh, this is kind of where we left off on the notes here, too. So figure out who you think's good for Artist Spotlight and for the Guild Spotlight. And so if you got an artist or a guild in mind that you think's really crushing it, or man, they're just the PR looks good around these guys, or they got some strong momentum right now, or I am the owner of this guild and I want to kick this thing off. All offers are on the table, so this is going to rotate, and everyone will get a turn, no big deal. But we need spots to fill for August. So for artist, individual, and the guild. And artist is broad definition. It doesn't have to be people that just make NFTs visually or musically, or it could be podcasts, it could be anything you want to call it. Just tell us.
What about Duppy?
Yeah, I'd love to get Duppy. Yeah, absolutely. I like Duppy a lot. I'll reach out to him and see if he wants to play ball. I'd love to throw him up there. And I like the idea of throwing people up that aren't maybe necessarily like on this call right now or here right now, because that's a good hook to easily show them that we're doing some cool stuff over here and let them have some interest in what we got going on.
And Duppy made me a video of all my gotchis, and they're like jamming around. It's awesome. I'll drop it in the call here.
Man, he didn't advertise enough. Yeah, it's dope. And then for me, the last notes are lens, guys. Lens. I can't say it enough. Like, and Aave along with it. Aave's a hard token to buy because there's not much to do with it right now. But man, it's coming. Like, it has a 7x in front of it from its now to all-time high. If nothing ever changed from what it used to do. And yet it has social media being introduced, and it's got a stable coin coming soon. So I'm just kind of gigabull these days on Aave proper. And Lens as a platform looks really nice. We picked up a like on our actual tweet about using the Lens 2 protocol from Stani himself. And so the thing I like is that the founder and leader of a $24 billion DeFi empire is spending all of his free time right now on Lens. Like, this is his pet. This is what he sees as the next thing for Aave's expansion. So I'm sniffing it out. So pay attention to it if you're not involved with it yet. Like, I'm trying to get some Lens handles for some other purposes, for some other entities, and you can't. It's hard. It's really hard to get a Lens right now if you don't have one already. So we're really lucky with Aavegotchi having early access to that.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's
we're underappreciating that currently.
I work on the marketing end of the Bounty Hunter podcast, and he has access to a Lens profile, and I'm like, dude, get Bounty Hunter on Lens right now. Like, start throwing your audiograms on Lens tube. Like, just do it. You're early.
Well, even Discord is going to wrap up. This is the four I was already seeing, right? It's like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. All four of those are going to get competed with against Lens and the Lens ecosystem. It's going to take those four out, no problem. And it occurred to me later in the day is why wouldn't I have included Discord and Slack in that same discussion? I think Lens is going to have the infrastructure and the tooling set for anybody to be able to show up and be like, I'm going to rebuild Discord on Web3. It's coming. It's coming. And so just be aware. I think it's going to be really a fundamental change. I think we're going to see things like Twitter and Facebook start to lose a little bit of their step on things like superpowered Aave products. That's kind of all I've got for GMI stuff right now. Hefe is kind of on a timeline, so I don't know what else we want to do here next, but we do have the odds and the wheels and the distribution set for the Raffle, as well as for the guild attendees. So we can pull some stuff there. We can talk about Gotchi thoughts because we want to get a Gotchi here soon on the mascot. We can do some yays and nays because there's been a lot of discussion around that. I'll just kind of let Hefe know future Anthony. Anybody? Open floor. Who's got what? Right on. I will say real quick, just an early shout out, Drax. That was an amazing little circle loop with the Alco guy earlier. I wouldn't have expected it to end that way, and so it was that was very amusing for me.
The what now?
Talking with that Algorand guy earlier, and then at the end of that discussion being like, you know what? Let me see if this guy knows anything about Drax. And I'm like, oh, of course he's on the Divine freaking Council. Go figure.
Yeah, that was fun.
Nice to see you out there. Cool. Well, what are you thinking, Hefe? How much time you got?
10 minutes.
He's watching the clock. Okay, talk Gotchi then. Tell us why we should buy a closed portal, an H1 closed portal.
Yeah, No Future and I had a long talk about this. And in the end, it comes down to, do we want to generate some Alchemica from our guild for a mascot Gotchi, have him be a hard worker, and just be a adopted hard worker? Or do we want Sergey to bring us our Gotchi, the Gotchi that's meant for GMI? I guess that's what it comes down to.
And then I brought up one point because, me being the flipper, if we do go with a closed portal and we pull a 580, are we okay with selling it and taking that yield and reinvesting it into like 5 Gotchis, some stable, glitter farming, and maybe upgrades to our land?
Yeah, and I did loop back around and actually say yes. I actually do agree with that outcome. So it's kind of it's a nice 50-50. Like, if the upside is we end up with a bunch of capital, we can reinvest into GMI, we can do some cool shit with it. The other side of it is we just end up with a Gotchi that we would have picked up off the floor anyway.
So the only downside to that plan really is that you end up with something you can't flip and then you lost on the kinship. That's really the only downside.
Yeah, and that was definitely the downside. No Future brought up is that there are a few Gotchis in the bazaar right now, around 700 Ghost, which is what we would pay for this portal, that are in the 500 kinship range, and would be the 3x channelers, 3x channeler Gotchi. So something to consider there. I don't think either decision's a wrong decision. So it's just basically what we want to do. And we're not limited to either or because, we can get one of the things now and always get the other thing later. Whether we're getting the kinship Gotchi now and we decide for the portal later, or we decide to do the portal roll right now and then we, keep our eye out for that kinship Gotchi and snipe one.
Do we feel fundamentally that the Gotchi market is only headed upward, or do we feel like there's going to be like entry point in the future where prices will be lower than they currently are?
I was making the point earlier that I don't think for kinship specific Gotchis, because we're going into rarity farming season, that people with higher end kinship are going to diamond hand those Gotchis for the next few weeks. So we might not see for the next 8 weeks a dip in prices because for kinship specifically, because people are going to be holding on to their kinship Gotchis or trying to sell them at a premium because now there's a new yield beyond just channeling for that high kinship Gotchi. So I think, I'm speculating, of course, but I do think that there is a possibility that the market gets tighter if we don't buy it now, if we're basing that purchase on kinship.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So I watched the floor hit about 399 Ghost, and I think that was pretty close. I don't know if it was a little lesser than that. Maybe it was like 360 or something that squeezed through, but it barely broke 400. Now it's only been reversing. And so regardless of market action, Gotchi has its own action internally. First of all, its own momentum, and it feels like it's kind of turning and picking up off of its low point. And then it does look like if the markets were to wake up, that momentum could compound, and we could watch all of these assets increase and start to run from us.
That closed portal that we've been watching specifically, I've watched it move down in price 3 or 4 times now. That one is racing to the bottom. Every time somebody goes lower than it, it goes lower.
It's 1658, right?
I've watched it go down. I literally
It's almost-
saw it. I was watching it, and I watched it snap from like 748 to 738, like because another pair that was priced higher that I had been watching moved down below it, and I was like, "Ooh, they're racing down."
It's almost like
I mean,
they want us
I'm
to
inclined to the H1. Honestly, I'm okay with it. I like buy into the culture and the lore. I like it. I appreciate it. I think it's.
We got to
it
do a
has,
streaming event though if we're doing a portal.
Yeah,
Like, it's gotta
and you
be-
know, Michael, like, you know, I'll reiterate my kind of argument for the closed portal is strictly based on the H1. I don't care about the H2s. They're the most recent haunt, and you know, the Gen 1 of any collection is always going to be the most valuable.
Definitely. Well,
you know,
and I think anytime
Spicy.
anybody opens the portal, you're helping the whole game, right? You're helping everybody. It's just one less on the table. Oh yeah, the cat's back. Cat and baby, man, what a night. You guys are busy. I don't know how you do it. Right on. I'm being kind of talked into the H1. We'll put the vote out and we'll kind of get some polls and a couple different tranches and thoughts. But I'm kind of being talked into it because honestly, who the hell cares, right? We're here to play. Like it's not.
That's kind of what I was just thinking. Exactly.
Like, yeah,
If we're potentially getting more funds to unlock, then I don't mind taking the DGen play, and then the next action can be towards that.
Well, and it almost puts the pressure on us to do a good job with this parcel thing and make sure that we deliver and feel good about that return value, and then we can have a couple more of these little suckers. Yeah, we can make this happen. So at least if nothing else happens, do we at least want to have like an OG H1 through a closed portal and do the whole proper loop? I think that's where we start. I think culturally it sounds better to start there.
So that would be around 700 ghosts. What budget would we have for dressing this Gotchi?
I mean, you know, when it's house money, it's easy, right? So it's 1,000 ghosts from DTF, and so I don't know. We could, I mean, easily 100, 200 ghosts could probably get squeezed out of there, if not the whole 3. It really is going to be very dependent on the delivery of that parcel, the securing of that parcel bag too, and that'll loosen up significantly. But we don't need that 3 ghosts for anything. That 3 left over from the 700 on the portal is not earmarked for anything. We don't need it for anything. We don't owe anything. It's fine. We could burn it too. We have still a little ghost purse staked for friends at this point, which is still something we could discuss if that's even useful at this stage. And then we're about to deploy the glitter farm right now. And so the 300 ghosts would be eligible for like installations, wearables, or glitter farming. It's loose money.
Okay, so I have another question because you just mentioned tickets. We took in drop tickets, correct?
Yeah, we have in total we took in 254 drop tickets.
Wow.
Now, mind you, this is against Rigo's collection, and so I don't know. I think his split was 50-50 because this is also one of these Goobs pieces, and so you and I may not have anything to do with any of this liquidity. So we kind of got to make sure we check with Rigo and see what the allocations are there. I think I remember it being 50-50 him and Goobs. And so I think GMI might just be, doing our good Samaritan deeds on that collection and not really seeing any of that. But he generated 254 drop tickets donated to that Raffles collection.
Nice. Yeah, no, I was just wondering because I was like, oh, if we have tickets, are we going to go in? Or are we going to sell them when they pump?
Yeah, no. Yeah. We don't have many. I think we got 6 in our treasury right now. But we do still probably have a lot of friends so we can make tickets as well because okay. I never pulled that I think it's about 554 that are still stake making friends. So
okay, good, yeah.
Not much, but it's something. It's accumulating.
Hey, that's a drop ticket every 20 days, so that's not bad.
Yeah, so they're doing their thing. So okay, so we'll put some polls out. Like I said, we'll do some questions and stuff to the community. But man, I'm kind of digging the H1. I'm being talked into it. I thought it was a real bad idea at first. I just wanted to grab some floor workers and move on. But we can do that with like the deeper money. With this precious gift that we've been given through DTF, let's do something special. This is from our summit, and so we could do something really kind of classic with this. So H1 closed portal through a streaming summoning sounds pretty dope.
And then we get the 580 and sell it for 50 grand. And then,
that'd be the best. That'd be one of the best origin stories out there.
Yeah.
Okay, Hefe, do you have any parting words for us before you get out of here?
No, we're good. I mean, let's
Do y'all want to do this raffle tonight, or do y'all want to do this tomorrow at the end of the hangout? We could do this tomorrow at the end of the hangout. It's a really
that would be fun.
really cool PR moment.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Have people jump in here.
Either, yeah, probably, yeah, probably just drop a link on them, say, hey, come,
so we can
come
share
jump over in
screens
here
like
real
we're
quick.
doing now.
So we'll do it just like we're doing right now, and I'll do the same thing. We'll pull these two wheels up, and we'll do the drawings live, and we'll kind of explain to the newcomers, hey, here's what these were all about, and who these folks are, and what they're winning, and shit like that. But here we go. So we can just do this tomorrow. We'll take care of all that. Because like I said, distribution's at Hefe's pace. And so the only real value for us doing this is PR, social eyeballs. And so we may as well do it tomorrow at the end of the hangout when everyone's actually paying attention. We already are all excited about it. We don't have to be the ones that see it.
Yeah, I'll work on getting the Summit NFTs out and the Gotchika ASAP. I think we have the metadata for that already. So those two will be up first, and then I can type the little loose ends early, starting next week. So
I like it. We can start issuing drop tickets for dank memes using Big Brain here.
I might get Gotchika mounted. I don't know. I might.
Dude, C-Fi's got me FOMOing on that kind of shit. Like that's some.
I don't know. I got guitars in the way, so I'll have to figure something out.
Screen print the Gotchika.
When got you first art gallery?
I was gonna get.
I had to get at least one.
Rizzo
did you get all three? You got the whole mural?
I did.
Nice.
I got the 3 Gotchikas. I got one of each of the Raffles, and then I threw in 2 drop tickets because I got a better chance here than I do in the land sale with 2 tickets.
100%.
I hadn't put my money in yet, and I jumped in right before the timeline today because I was having this like genuine FOMO when NFT displays exist, when the Aavegotchi NFT marketplace exists, and when all this is happening. And you have these early community pieces of Bin Laden originals, Rigo originals, and it's like, man, that's like a 21. That was pre-market. They were making this shit back when it was just GMI, and they were just doing it like manually. This is before Aavegotchi even thought of an NFT marketplace, guys. This is
I'll tell you guys, with deep diving into rare Pepes, that Nakamoto card I showed New Future today during our live stream. That card was essentially free. It was like it didn't cost anything. Like dollars. Right now, the floor price for that Nakamoto card is almost 160 grand US. So these early NFTs, you don't think much about them till you do.
Well, this is our shooting star here. Aavegotchi hits popularity on levels that we can't even envision, and that game lore's cultural pieces from the earliest days become artifacts and grails.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you on that.
All right, man, I guess you're out of here, and if we're not going to do the rifles, then there's nothing else that we need to do here tonight. Does anybody have anything specifically kind of on their chest or on their mind that they wanted to get out before you forget it? Otherwise, I think we can wrap this thing.
Just one last thing. In terms of the Gotchi spaces on Sunday, maybe what we should consider is making it a GMI event. Because I can do it every Sunday, but the issue, and Hefe I know can attest to this, because it's a space, you need more than one person on stage. Because if it's just one person on stage, and I might as well just live stream my channel like I normally do. Yeah. So if we can get a second person that's like down, or a few of us, and take it over as the GMI Gotchi space, I think that would be cool. We could stream it to GMI.
I think User Default's got his hand up. I don't know if he's stretching.
I'm down, bro. I got you, man.
That looks like a volunteer.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I've raised this child, and now I can't just let the child go out into the world on its own because you don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to give the child.
Can agree with that as he's holding his grill in his hand.
I think he has the perspective.
Yeah, we will nurture the child all together as a GMI family.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think also Z-Fi is always there, and I'm there a lot of the time, so we can probably jump up more often.
Z-Fi is treating himself.
He's jumping. He's brave now that we got our Tuesday podcast going. It's been consistent.
You're watching you're doing it, Anthony. I know what you're doing. You're mentoring this guy, and he's blossoming, and it's working, and it's going to be really effective. Yeah. And so now it's your turn. Default, it's your turn. Let's get you up here too. We're going to watch you blossom, and suddenly you're going to be your whole powerhouse of personality, and we've got one more warrior on the ranks.
Hell yeah!
Oh, I'm so down, man. Any way I can help.
I dig it. Okay, guys.
Awesome.
I think we can end this on a good note. Lens. Don't forget it. Pay attention, and we'll see you guys around. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.
Man.
LensTube.'s real good. Check it out. All right, guys.
Man.
Get out of here.
Later, fellas.
Later.
Peace.
Take it easy, guys.